KUPU. It's now time for Hawaii local news and weather. KUPU. The news begins now.
Aloha and good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Tara Kili'i. Queens Medical Center will pay $1.5 million as its share of a $34 million settlement involving overbilling of Medicare. Queens is included among 55 hospitals in 21 states involved in the settlement, revolving around overcharges for a back procedure. The hospitals are alleged to have overcharged for kyphoplasty using a fraudulent billing scheme, according to Washington, D.C. based law firm Phillips & Cohen, LLP. Hospitals across the country misrepresented the type of treatment they provided to patients so they could bill Medicare for expensive inpatient stays, said Tim McCormack, an attorney with Phillips & Cohen. CVS Caremark Corp. has just opened a new Long's drugstore in the Ha'ulakai Shopping Center on the North Shore side of Oahu's Windward Coast. The Honolulu Star-Advertiser reports Long's is taking over a 26,500 square foot space that was once occupied by Pay and Save Drug in the shopping center, which is now currently anchored by Tamura's Market. The newspaper reports the store will be the only drugstore along the coast between Kaneohe and Haleiwa. 4th of July revelers eager to claim picnic spots at Ala Moana Regional Park will once again be allowed to set up canopies in the hours leading up to the holiday, city officials said. Canopies must be set up before the park closes at 10 p.m. and up to 2 people will be permitted to stay in the park with the canopy overnight. Vehicles, however, must be removed from the park when it closes at 10 p.m. and will not be allowed to return until the park opens at 4 a.m. A free 4th of July Beach Fest will take place tomorrow at Hickam Harbor from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. The Air Force Band of the Pacific and the Pacific Fleet Band will keep the music going, to include rock, pop, a patriotic salute, and much more. Activities range from a demonstration from the world's first water-propelled jetpacks to keiki fun on the lanai. Open to all military-affiliated and DoD ID card holders and their sponsored guests. We'll be right back with more right after this. Welcome back. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service announced yesterday the reopening of the public comment period for the proposal to designate critical habitat for 3 Hawaii island plant species and on the draft economic analysis. The service will also conduct a second informational meeting to discuss the critical habitat proposal and draft economic analysis, and to help clarify any additional questions the public may have. In October of 2012, the service made available to the public a proposed rule to list 15 species as endangered under the Endangered Species Act and to designate 18,766 acres of critical habitat for the 3 Big Island plant species. One of the plant species, Ko'oko'olau, is one of the 15 species proposed for listing. The other 2, Uhi Uhi and Wahine Noho Kula, are previously listed plant species that do not currently have designated critical habitat here on the island of Hawaii. The initial comment period on the proposed listings and critical habitat designations closed in December. On April 30th, the comment period was reopened for 30 days, during which time a public meeting and hearing was held in Kona. The comment period is now being reopened for an additional 60 days on 3 critical habitat designations and accompanying draft economic analysis to ensure that the public has adequate opportunity to review and comment. The service will accept comments until September 3rd. For more information, you can go to fws.gov/endangered. On Monday, Governor Neil Abercrombie signed House Bill 587 into law. The new law strengthens and enhances Hawaii's criminal law prohibiting physical abuse of family or household members. District 14 Representative Derek Kawakami introduced the bill at the request of the Kauai Domestic Violence Task Force and the Office of the Prosecuting Attorney. The provisions of the bill extend domestic abuse protections to individuals who are in dating relationships. Until now, the law only applied to protect individuals who were related, had a child together, or had resided together. The law also requires police to separate the abuser from the abused for a minimum of 48 hours. This period of separation allows the victim, if necessary, to seek a restraining order or to take other steps to ensure his or her safety. The County of Maui has published a booklet to help promote elder abuse awareness that will be distributed in Maui on July 21st. The 16-page color booklet is divided into two sections. The first part describes elder abuse in its many forms, from physical and emotional abuse to self-neglect, neglect from caregivers, and financial exploitation. This section also gives numbers to call for help. The last section of the booklet features programs and services available in Maui County to help caregivers relieve stress, prevent burnout, and learn self-care, including kupuna care services such as at-home delivered meals, assisted transportation, adult daycare, and personal care. Programs available to help family caregivers include powerful tools for caregivers, enhanced fitness, and better choices, better health. We'll be right back with more news and weather right after this. Welcome back. The Egyptian military has announced the removal of Mohamed Morsi as president, presenting a roadmap for reconciliation in the country. In a televised statement on Today, the Egyptian military chief announced that the plan calls for the temporary suspension of the constitution and the institution of a technocrat government. The Chief Justice of Constitutional Court will lead the country in the interim. Tahrir Square, where thousands of people had gathered during the day, erupted in celebrations as soon as the news was announced. Morsi and his allies say the opposition never accepted their appeals for dialogue, seen by opponents as empty gestures, and that Mubarak loyalists throughout the government sabotaged their attempts to bring change. The military had issued an ultimatum on Monday, giving Morsi 48 hours to find some solution with his opponents. Any deal, however, was near impossibility, making it inevitable the military would move. The Oakland, California City Council has agreed to pay a total of $1.17 million to settle 12 lawsuits brought by people injured in 2011 during Occupy protests. In addition to cash payments, the city agreed to 7 years of supervision by federal courts of its crowd control policies. We hope that we will no longer have to keep bringing these lawsuits, they said, but it's been a very long road with Oakland police. So it remains to be seen whether they will be in compliance, said Rachel Letterman of the National Lawyers Guild, who represented the plaintiffs. A woman who was hit by a flashbang grenade is to receive almost half the money, $500,000. Scott Campbell, an Oakland videographer who was filming when he was hit by a beanbag fired by police, is also set to get $150,000. The plaintiffs were injured in confrontations with police during large demonstrations in October and November of 2011. Jim Sandridge, a Baptist preacher at the Emmanuel Baptist Church in Skiatook, Oklahoma, was not very pleased to see one of his church attendees dozing off during his sermon, and he decided to take a few minutes to give the congregation a piece of his mind. In a 5-minute clip uploaded by YouTube user Steph Fundies like, Sandridge can be heard insulting churchgoers, even telling one of them, "You're one of the sorriest church members I have. You're not worth 15 cents. And now for your local weather. In Waimanalo tonight, 72 degrees with a 40% chance of rain, and tomorrow 84 degrees with scattered showers and overcast skies. In Sunset Beach, tonight 66 degrees with partly cloudy skies, and tomorrow a high of 76 degrees with isolated clouds and sun peaks throughout the day. In Honolulu tonight, 71 degrees with clear skies throughout the night, and tomorrow a high of 84 degrees, mostly sunny with cool trade winds. Thank you for joining us here at KUPU for your evening news. I'm Tara Kili'i Holokai. Have a great 4th of July.